Hello, everyone. How are you today? Today, my talk is about the journey to who I am. I am called Arlene Dewdney. The M stands for Marie. My story started in the heavenly realm, where I watched carefully for the parents I had chosen, so that I would be born at the right astrological alignment for my life, lessons, and mission. Then it happened. I was conceived. And then I was born in the astrological alignment of Aquarius, the water bearer. As my parents took me home in my dad's 57 Chevy, my mom noticed there's water coming down our street. And she said instinctively she knew it was coming from our house. As they drove up to my house, sure enough, there's water coming down under the front door. The paid helper had set the water for my older brother and forgot to turn it off. Needless to say, my brother was out playing. So the country of my birth is Jamaica, and I am born in the twin city of Kingston. At the time of my birth, my eldest sister had immigrated to Canada to study at the university. She insisted that I should be called Anne Marie. So in my family, that's what I'm known as, Anne Marie. As I grew up, about age 5, I remember looking up at the heavens, wondering, here, who's God? Who made God? And who made that God? I used to love to twirl in my driveway as I looked up. And on one of this occasion, I was twirling. And then whoosh, the next thing I knew was that there was all darkness. I was in an enclosed space. And I remember opening my eyes. And it felt like I was there for hours, but really I wasn't, probably an hour. Eventually that scene dissolved into one of seeing my mom at my bedside with a cold cloth on my forehead. I nursed a coconut on the back of my head for weeks. I just wanted to introduce a picture of me at age 14 months. There's a little teddy bear, and there's my dad's hand ready to capture me, just in case. Yeah, she had that wide-eyed wonder, like, what's going on? The sense of discovery. Then our family decided to immigrate to Canada. And within 2 months of that, my mother became ill with an unexplained illness. She became a cripple overnight. Her joints got swollen and deformed. She had severe pain. And then she couldn't wear shoes. She had to walk with a shuffling gait. I mean, for me, seeing my mom age dramatically overnight, it was really very heartening to me. But you know what? She never complained. She accepted her condition. And she moved on, did the best she could. Of course, she had medical treatment, but still, the change of seeing a very well woman to an unwell woman was very devastating for me. Now, as I was saying, that situation colored the career that I would eventually take. I am a registered nurse, and I have been a registered nurse for over 40 years. My practice was thoracic surgery and respiratory medicine, and before that, I was an intensive care unit nurse. Now, during my nursing career, I also had extracurricular activities. I enjoyed roller skating, so I was a competitive and artistic roller skater. I also loved to dance, so I took lessons, and I was a flamenco and Oriental Middle Eastern dancer. So this is all recreational. I got to dress up in these gorgeous costumes and wear this bling. And of course, my creative side was expressed during this time. So I had a really great time working full-time, traveling out of town and all over the country for my competitions and stuff like that. It was lots of fun. Then something changed. Our workplace, the hospital, closed, and we got moved to a new modern site. And within 2 weeks of that move, I became unwell with an unexplained condition. It turned out that in this new modern building, there was lack of natural light. Now, eventually we did some studies with lux measurement. Lux is a measure of the intensity of light. And there was not sufficient natural light. They had glazings on the windows. So that was one aspect that affected my health. The other part was that I became hypersensitive to technologies that were in the building. This was a 6-year journey for me. Now, I ended up trying to heal myself, taking all kinds of courses, healing modalities, but throughout all of that, one thing that I did not get to do, and eventually I had to go there, was that of spirituality and energy healing. What happened with those two circumstances was that it triggered me going through the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is a spiritual journey. It's a journey into your soul where you explore the light and the dark side of who you are. Now, when you explore the dark, you have to shed things that may not be serving your highest good. And of course you look at the light, and then you have to integrate both of them into wholeness. So it's a very deep journey where layers and layers come off. Now, that leads me to the second picture that I was showing. One picture is me at 14 months, and the other one was me at 7 years old. So by then, I had been studying energy healing, right? So I looked at those pictures. Beside the age, one 14 months, one 7 years old, I said the energy of them was different. And so I went to my energy healer. I said, what's going on? And she asked me, was anything significant in your life between those periods of time? And then I remember falling and becoming unconscious at age 5. And she did her protocols, etc. And then she came back to me and said, while you were unconscious, you went to see God, and you were angry at God. You're at 5 years old. Angry at God. Clearly, it had to be a past life issue or family line issue or something like that, or possibly for my mission. I don't know. But having my understanding of energy healing, I decided to do, if there's anger, you do a forgiveness protocol. So that's what I did. I did a ceremony for our divine God. And I think it was very important because I was able to move forward from that. And again, there was several layers. When you're in the dark night of the soul, you just keep peeling off the layers. And it's just a lot of work. I'm just going to tell you that. And oftentimes we do need support of others to go through that because it's tremendous. Another significant thing that happened, I think it was in 2016, I went to a very important lecture in Toronto. And it's a famous person, I won't say who it is, but what he said was, life is like a television. If you don't like what you're seeing, you just change the channel. And that was important for me because what he was saying, change your perspective on your situation. Remember, I was going through a lot, and I didn't know or understand what was going on. So then when I started to change my perspective on the situation, a lot of movement happened. So, for example, if you had fear here and love, so I was in the blaming, why is this happening to me? and judgment and all the negatively polarized thing. And then there's love on this side. So because of his statement, what I did was shifted my perspective to a higher vibration, and my vibration went up. So again, that was a major movement in my life. And I just wanted to say, my mother 2 months ago turned 100 years old. What she said on her birthday was, her mission in life was to bring joy to people. And I would say she successfully did that. Thank you. And I'm just going to show you a picture of my mom. That was when she was in her 20s. And this was taken 2 months ago. Next pictures that I'm going to show you is some of my, when I was performing. So throughout my journey of going through the dark night of the soul and taking all the health modalities, I consider myself quantum energy wellness coach and healer. And I wanted to share some light language with you, if that's okay. That was one of the gifts that I got. Okay, it goes like this. Kuma teskina tela poro tukusheka. Teskina tela tare tukuma. Rotus kushkira tela takama. Koshkira tela tara takum. Rotus kushkire teskira tela tare to. Makari tishkultura tela tukuma. Ratis kila tela tare turo tukushe. Makari teskira tela ta. Kushira tela ta. Ma. This is Arlene Dewdney. Thank you very much.